the Lord, everyone. Brother Roop here. We are in the book of Acts, chapter 9, and now we are in verse 11. If you, excuse me about that. Remember, the last video, Paul, or Saul, as he still is called, was a Pharisee who was going to Damascus to arrest Christians and bring them back for punishment, because they had the audacity to believe in something different. My goodness. Anyway, just before he got to Damascus, Jesus Christ had a different idea for his life. And he struck him down with blindness and told him, this is what you're going to do. So, for 3 days, Saul is blind and he's fasting because he's scared, he's upset, he doesn't know what's going on, and so he's got a lot to think about. So his instructions were, go to the street called Straight and see a certain mystery man called Ananias. So let's read the passage. It says, verse 11, and the Lord said unto him, arise, and go into the street, which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he prayeth. Now these are instructions for Ananias. Remember last video, God gave Ananias a vision and says, look, go to this place and go pray for Paul, or Saul. I keep calling him Paul. He's still Saul at this point. And Ananias, he's kind of worried about that, because Saul is kind of the biggest Christian killer around, and he's a little worried about that, his own personal safety. Jesus, God's a gentleman, and in his vision he says Saul will be there praying. That tells Ananias that Saul's had a change of heart. He tells him to get to the street called Straight. That street still exists. It's in the old city of Damascus. It goes from the eastern to the western gate of the old city. It's about 3 miles long, and it's straight as a board, and it's one of the main streets in Old Town Damascus. Near the eastern gate is a house. It's said to be that of Judah, in which Paul stayed. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It might be called that just for tourist reasons, but yeah. And there's a very small closet where church tradition reports that the apostle fasted there for food. Without food and drink for 3 days. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. He had to do it somewhere, I guess. Church tradition also holds that he had a vision recorded in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. That vision there was, Paul had it in that house. That's only church tradition, though. Along the street there's a fountain, and a lot of Christians go there to drink in remembrance of, because they believe that Paul was baptized in that fountain. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but just relating the information. It says, behold, he prayeth. I can't underestimate that enough, that God is easing the mind of Ananias. making Ananias more easy by going there. And it also tells us the manner in which Paul was passing those 3 days. You know, he wasn't there just, you know, playing blackjack. You know, he was, they're praying, getting his life right, repenting of his sins, now that he knows what the sins are. And so he was there praying. That's how he was passing his 3 days there. You know, Ananias, regarded Saul, as all Christians did, as the enemy of Christianity, because he was. And he was, I'm sure, apprehensive about going there and meeting him. He might have thought he was going to get arrested, but he got this vision from God saying he's praying, and I'm sure that eased his fears. The prayers, he wasn't praying Saul was a Pharisee, and Pharisees prayed publicly, and they were known for praying publicly just for reasons of pride, religious pride. But Saul, we could tell from this verse that Saul wasn't a Pharisee anymore. He wasn't praying in public for the sake of praying in public. He was praying in private in someone's home. He shut himself up in this room and closet and fasting and praying in private. And that shows us that these were the prayers of a broken-hearted sinner. And he wasn't praying about his own righteousness. He was now dependent on the mercy of God. Not only mercy of God, but Jesus Christ. And that shows how much of a 180 he did. Ananias it showed a change of his character, and it showed that Saul was more than willing to let go of the old prejudices and look towards the future. Thank you, and God bless.